OpTic is playing like that, that is a very good question to ask. What can you do? And also, we talked about just that. We talked about this matchup in particular. We saw the history in the past, and one of the things that Krim said at the tail end of that interview was talking about how strong they looked in the hard point. So as we start to look at the hard points, actually look at the score lines that we saw come in from this squad, Ben, I want to talk about OpTic overall as a squad and kind of their trajectory throughout the season. I feel like they've gone through quite a crazy ride.
Yeah, it's been weird. You know, I mentioned at the very beginning of the overall segment, they've not been in a grand final this year. How weird is that to say? With how many events we've had and, you know, how they've looked at times, you expect better from this team overall as a year. But, I mean, this is a hell of a way to start their run here in playoffs.
You love to see for the roll swap, right? Like, you have Crim6 and Scump, hyperactive, a lot of engagements, incredibly aggressive, and then you got Karma and Formal. It's like, at a certain point, yes, they low engagements, but they're just hanging out on the hill. Like, there's nothing for them to do, yeah. And it's what you love to have. If Formal's going to be in the AR role, you want him posted up inside the hill, and then the Valkyrie, it was just more dominance, right? Like, they didn't outslay their opponent by a huge margin necessarily. I mean, 15-18 kills, but the score was just blown out of proportion. And again, you got the hyperactivity of the new submachine gun duo, but of course on this map, everyone's contributing. But again, for OpTic Gaming, it's about as good as it gets for hardpoint.
And you see the defend column there as well. 0 from EnVy. They're not getting even close to the hill. I think Scump finished with a massive amount of kills, 27 to almost 2-minute hill time. When you're getting the kills in and around the hill, you're going to win hardpoint. And that's something which EnVy have struggled. I mean, Krim mentioned it himself. The way he sees that submachine gun matchup, it's all OpTic Gaming in that head-to-head match.
Hey, you know, it's crazy. That role switch is definitely going to lead into our play of the game as well. And that is going to be presented by Scuff, and it's going to take place in that second map. And it is going to be all around Formal. Pulls off a pretty insane play chance.
An incredibly important play as well, because EnVy was working really hard to get that round secured, and that was to get the momentum back in the series, right? Like, you go down for a tough map 1-0, but you get that first round underway, then you're feeling good, and then by the end, Formal's like, no. I'm just going to get those easy 2 kills at the end. So, I mean, you blow a 2v1 to open up the game after losing that first hard point. That's just tough, man. That's so tough to deal with.
I really want to take a much deeper look as we watch this play go down. This is, of course, your play of the game presented by Scuff, and just talk about how important that this role swap really has been for the team. Ben, do you think this is what they needed to start looking like the OpTic Gaming that we knew that they could be to potentially even crack a grand final?
I think it's too early to tell. I'm going to be honest. I don't want to be the party pooper here. Don't get me wrong. Just to talk about that real quick. Beautiful clutch from Formal. Made it look so simple. But in terms of, you know, you talk about the big picture here, the role swap. Has it improved OpTic Gaming? I mean, okay, yes, of what we've seen so far, but how often do we say when teams make roster changes, oh, the honeymoon phase where everything seems to go right? We have to really base it off results, right? At the end of the day, what else matters? If you're still not winning championships, has it had an effect? I mean, I don't know.
You know, I'll never accuse you of being a party pooper. That's not who you are. That's pretty much chance. So, not gonna. Man, I'm scared.